thing, just continuing from what we were just talking about.
All right, it's already broadcasting now, Matt. Your secret's already out there.
Well, I guess it is something to do with Change the Future anyway, just because I wanted to just say, like, make a comment on what I meant by feeling intimidated by it. So,
Joe will join us in 1 minute. I'm here in oral form. Go on, Matt.
should I continue or should I not continue?
Sorry, yeah.
It's really difficult to hear you, so I don't know if you're like talking to me or.
Yeah, Matt, go for me.
Cool.
Welcome. Go.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you? You go.
Go for it, Matthew Wilkins.
So yeah, I just wanted to like sort of just I guess explain myself when I said it's a bit cluttered and really intimidating. So I come onto the Trello page. Can you see that I'm sharing it? And I just see it and I'm like, what? Where do I go? Okay, so our workforce. And then I'm like, whoa, so where am I in this? I'm a supporter to step up to junior member, I'm a junior member to step up to senior member, and a senior member. And I know, like, I get what you're trying to do, in a way.
Understand by looking at it, I suppose. I mean, I've designed most of this, and I guess I've designed it to be efficient more than easy for people who've never seen it before. Because I want it to, you know, even if it's a bit intimidating at first, I think the most important thing is that it does its job properly. And not everyone who's involved in Change the Future or brings something to the table that's valuable has to really use Trello, at least not straight away. But I think, I don't know, I think people mostly get it after they've spent an hour on there, you know, with someone who understands it well. Like when I spend even 45 minutes with someone, there's a really good Google Hangout with me and Rob Carney going through it in great detail. And anyone can watch that now as much as they want, pause it, come back to it, and really we cover all the basic stuff, like including why we even set it up in the first place.
Okay. I'm going to watch that then. But shit. Sorry.
Yeah, it would be beautiful if there was a way of making it really like some kind of narrative for a journey through it. I mean, if you can think of a way of doing that, that would be better than sort of telling me something I already know, which is that intimidates some people. And better still would be actually doing whatever you propose, I suppose. That's kind of like the attitude I'm having, like more and more at the moment, like especially until I can do a better job of inspiring and encouraging and helping other people to kind of step forward, like as much as I am involved in the project, I guess. And especially, I think longer term roles are the way of doing that. Like Carney talking about maybe on the role of meeting groups, just
kind of breaking up, Luke.
Rob was talking about roles, particularly like helping people first interface with the project and staying in touch with people, especially new people, and just checking in with them periodically, like where they're at and do they understand how to access things and how they can get involved more and stuff.
Man, it was really nice to hear that, by the way, because it was kind of, I could hear you like sporadically, I guess. Just.
Let me just try a different microphone to see if this is any better. Does this sound any better? Sound? Is that good?
Speak again.
Now, if I speak like that with this setting on there, that might be the same. I'm going to try the other option now.
I heard you. Okay.
Does this sound better?
Yeah. Joe, can you say something?
Me? Yeah, hi, I'm saying stuff. Hi Matt, how's it going?
Good man.
Are you down? That bad? I'm actually talking like I'm breaking up now. I need to stay consistent. I've been talking all day. I've kind of lost all will to carry on the small talk.
I can Lee said that.
Hello. I can talk. Small talk and non-small
Oh,
talk.
you're breaking up. Oh, so
Your picture.
Joe, you're the only one that works. Google only wants to work with your pretty face.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, no, I can understand why.
Luke,
Oh, she should be working.
I can hear you guys.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Okay.
Hear me okay?
Cool.
I feel weird that this.
Huh?
I feel weird that this is being shared with the whole entire universe.
I guess that's the way we kind of do things normally with Change the Future stuff, though. Anything to do with Change the Future, like.
You never know when you're ringing Luke. You might be being recorded anyway.
I totally love it. I just feel weird.
Yeah.
So another thing, I don't know. Maybe you can just be like, shut up, Matt. But I feel like I'm a little bit more than a supporter of Change the Future. I felt like I had quite a lot to add, and I guess I felt like a core team member, and you were even calling me a core team member at one.
Right.
But I probably backed out of it, so it almost feels like now I've demoted as opposed to just kind of stepping back from it.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, that's not cool.
Yeah, well, who do you think should move you up to junior member? Because I propose that it's you. But I guess I think, I mean, obviously this is all like a prototype in a sense. It's like, this is like a beta version of our workforce. So I wouldn't take this as like a final product at all. I added a few names into I'm a supporter.
That's why I'm discussing it with you, because I'm maybe, yeah.
So man, I think you should be in another category as well, definitely. But I guess I just added a few names myself because people hadn't done it themselves yet, because I just created it myself. I mean, firstly, do you think this layout is worth using and good?
I love Trello, man. This is quite good to me. I'd like to sit down with all of you guys and go over what it is to be a junior member and what it is to be a senior member. Or maybe add one kind of step in, I guess, or one level in or something. No, I feel like I'm somewhere in between as being a supporter and a junior member. Maybe I just need to like up my game, I guess. And
Yeah, I mean, I think it's still really hazy, like what each of those actually means, and I think it's getting increasingly important to understand internally what the differences are. I think core team makes sense to me, and supporter makes sense to me.
just going over.
Core team is that small handful of people who are really on a sort of definitely weekly, if not daily basis, taking steps to really push the project forward. And yeah, it's really out of date. I think the assumption is for some people looking at this that it's somebody's job to maintain this board, and I think assumptions like that in Change the Future are dangerous. If there's an assumption to be made, it should be that no one is leading something unless you know who it is. And I feel like I've got unimaginable room for improvement on sort of knowing what's on my plate. My plate feels really huge and quite overflowing with the project. And yeah, I don't know what's on my plate or not on my plate, or what should be transferred from my plate to other people's plates, or do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Which is fine. It's like this is all part of the beauty of working on this project, because everything we're experiencing now is what people in society are going to be experiencing when we release this web platform, you know?
Definitely. I can imagine looking really different to Trello. But
yeah, of course, man. definitely. We're just using what tools are freely available now.
Yeah.
Useful enough. There's probably things out there that are better suited for this workforce thing than this, but I guess I just thought that if we can keep all of our stuff as much as possible on one website like Trello, that's good then, because people make one account and they don't have to like be on Dropbox and Drive and Trello and like Asana and Bootcamp or Basecamp or all these different things. We can just use one central place,
which will be amazing.
But man, drag yourself over to junior or senior member, I reckon.
I'm not even sure if I want to do that because I want to bring up one more thing.
Yeah.
I want to bring up this beautiful human here. Can you guys see me?
Yeah.
Charlie Shred, and he has dedicated probably thousands of hours to this project.
Yeah.
And therefore I probably would have put him in core team, but then I mean he's a co-founder of the whole project as well.
Yeah.
He also maybe can't go in core team because he's not dedicating that many hours a week, but then if you're going to by that logic move him down to a senior member, he should be then putting in 5 hours a week. I feel like this might need reworking in some ways, like maybe just in particular the like how much you commit to change the future, or maybe that's what you want. And
yeah, I think a lot of this talk is kind of difficult. This idea of like stepping up my game to be more crucially involved and people being ranked. It's kind of a little bit.
Yeah.
It's a little bit Scientology sounding. And it makes more sense when you're just yourself putting out there how much you're willing to put in there in terms of time. And that can be like a massively fluctuating thing. I know there was one period this year where I was doing enough to feel like a core team member. And I know in the last month I haven't been around anywhere near as much. 1 week. I think it's a much more valid thing to have people make self-assessments about how much time they have currently than it is to try and rank them on their previous events.
Then is the right way to have it though.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, so I think
I mean, it's like really not. Maybe it's not important at all. Maybe I'm just.
No, I think it is. I think it's a pretty important thing. I guess the thing is, I still feel like Trello is a bit of a kind of mysterious enigma that I don't feel clear at what sort of stage we're trying to introduce it to people yet. Like, is it kind of some arbitrary point after which people have actively reached out and expressed an interest in Change the Future that they've sort of maintained for a while, then sooner or later we go, oh yeah, well you should probably get in on Trello. Like, yeah. I still feel like kind of honest, like there's not. I mean, I very rarely get a notification on Trello saying that something Change the Future has happened. So like even us like core team people, I'm barely using it. Which like kind of if there was even like 3 other people or even 2 other people who were using it sort of an hour a week even, that would motivate me so much more to kind of do the extra little bit of time on Trello, because it's just because what I should be doing if I email. Like I just emailed Branwyn about a new office space, and actually I'm not even sure that I put a task for that in the Change the Future Trello, and I definitely should, because I shouldn't be acting and doing tasks without them being recorded in a public place.
Where would this go, sorry, if driving Change the Future forward?
Yeah. So this board is where I spend most of my time, because this is where stuff actually gets done.
Cool.
I just wanted to finish quickly on the workforce thing. I think, just with the workforce, Matt, I think when anyone's looking at that, I think it's important to think about the value that that board is trying to create, which is basically to help everyone in the workforce firstly know how many people are involved, who they are, how to contact them, and who to go to for certain things. So if somebody needs access, you know, someone's got a problem with their Change the Future email, or they want to get access to a Google Doc or something, or they want to know how to, they want some support doing something or whatever, they can see the core team people and how to get hold of them. And also, I think there's this funny thing with cooperation, I think, where you've got people who are at different sort of levels of confidence and experience with a project, a cooperative project. You get these two sort of metrics, I see them as, right? You get how capable people are in this cooperative group, like how much they know, and they know how we do things, and they've got skills and stuff. Maybe they've been involved for a long time, and then there's how self they are. And I think the workforce board.
Say the second thing again.
The second one is like your confidence, like how much you recognise where you're at. You know, so like someone might be involved in Change the Future for ages, and you know, be really good at talking to press, applying for funding, helping introduce new people, doing talks at events, or like whatever it is, like potentially quite important big things. So they're like really quite sort of qualified, if you like, but then they might not have much confidence or sort of self-recognition, so they might kind of think of themselves, they might behave like a supporter or a junior member, but actually they've got the experience and qualification of a senior member or even a core team member. So I think the workforce thing helps those people to recognise actually they are the best person to do something potentially quite advanced or important. Because some people, I think, don't know whether they have the right to do something, or like, you know, like access a certain amount of Change the Future money for petty cash, or like something on a Facebook page or something like that as Change the Future. You know, things like this where you go, I don't know if I have the right to do that sort of thing. So if you're a senior member or core team member, then you know you do.
Okay, so from senior member onwards, you get access to the accounts and stuff, do you? Or?
That kind of thing, but like this workforce thing, what you're looking at is basically that's basically Luke Flegg spending about 5 hours of time just going, shit, this thing needs to exist. Really about 20 hours needs to go into this altogether, and I've only got 5 right now. So it's just the foundations, really. It's just something to talk about. It's just built on the philosophy that you can't edit a blank page.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, like definitely don't put the burden on me of like this is a finished thing. Like we might have 3 levels of involvement. We might totally change all the things on there. Like definitely, as much as you can, propose stuff, and ideally just change it. I mean, after proposing it, yeah.
So where can I throw a proposal in there?
Anything that any action you want to change, anything that drives the project forward, put that in the driving Change the Future forward.
Okay, I want to go to this page now because I want to make more sense of this.
So if you have a proposal, put it in the proposal list.
Cool.
You don't have to scroll to the bottom, you can just hit add a card.
No, I'm just looking at it.
Yeah, there's loads, isn't there? I mean, this is one of the things, I put quite a lot of proposals in there. But, yeah, like if there was lots of people involved in the project, in fact, actually, if there was like 2 or 3 other people who did stuff on Trello, I think they would quite quickly realise there's loads of stuff to get involved in there, especially if they know a little bit about Change the Future. You know, like what is that? Advertise work opportunities for Change the Future on volunteering websites. So I think that's a really good idea, but I don't feel like I can afford to make that my #1 priority right now or most of the time. But there's really amazing volunteering websites, you know, where there's probably hundreds of people locally in Brighton even who are looking for volunteering opportunities. Yeah, I forgot I'd even put the websites in there. Yeah. Yeah, doit.org is a good one as well. Yeah, that's really good.
You just need, hang on, that's a proposal. How do you agree with this? Because I feel like that's a good proposal.
So I don't think we've discussed. Well, I don't think we've made a really clear decision on how that happens. Really, it just which is a problem. I think voting could be one way, but then you can't vote against. I think the best way, although it's not very beautiful, is scroll up through proposals, because I want to show you what I've been sort of trying, just as a sort of practice. Just click through them until you see one where you'll see I've tried a little weird thing at the top of the description. Just open up a few of them until you see one that has like a voting thing at the top. Now, you'll see it. I've basically just typed the words strongly agree, abstain, disagree, and strongly disagree. And then people can just write their name in it.
Okay, it wasn't there, was it?
If you agreed with it, you actually do it. If not, it goes on to the next level where you've assigned yourself to it. And when I see someone assigned to a task, I've done it before with you. I've seen you assigned to a task, and I've gone, you really want to do that? So that's for the X reason. Isn't it, with the amount of people that currently participate in it, isn't it enough that you'll provide an opportunity to comment on every single move?
So I think the things are that that is one way of doing it, and I think it's definitely better than nothing.
Yeah.
But I guess now we're in a conversation about the detailed mechanism of a good democratic process.
Yeah.
And I think what I think would be best is if we did have I'm just going to do one, Matt, on the top, so you know what I'm talking about.
Are you in the...
ChangeTheFuture.
Would it be better if we swap the screen shares over to use?
Oh, that's a fantastic idea.
Yeah.
What is it? Button.
Go on then, go for it.
Cool. You seeing it?
Yeah, I'm seeing it. I'm seeing a big photo of me.
Okay, cool. Okay, that's not a proposal, that's just a conversation. Ranking tasks. Whereas that volunteering one, do you do this as well sometimes?
No, I
That's
don't.
a really good way to find things.
Oh, that's great.
That's pretty good.
Trello is so fun to use, man. It's like
I love Trello.
It's just look at this. There's little details like this. I just really like them. You just do loads of lines like that, and then I don't know. It's so nice. It makes a little pretty break. Geeky. All right. Anyway, so I know it's ugly, but because you can just copy paste this. You still with us, Matt?
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Yes.
Connect and retrying one action. Can you still hear me, guys?
Yeah. It just says a connection interrupted.
So I can read that. But
It should be like that, really. And then you can just do this. And really, this is.
it's not pretty, is it? But it's...
This is actually what I think we should do as well. If we're trying to do it properly, actually, is points needed. So So say each. So like say abstain is 0, against is -1, strongly against is -2. So okay, actually it's like score. I mean, this is actually, if you're comparing this to a democratic process in a serious organisation that cares about how it operates as a democracy, or a country that proposes to be democratic, whether it is very good at it or not, the mechanisms are far more complicated than this. I don't think it's that it's complicated. I think it's just that we're reappropriating a tool, we're hacking it to do something it wasn't really designed to. But I think it works for the time being.
Say something.
I don't think it takes massively long. But so I think some proposals, if it's a big thing, like let's change the name of Change the Future to Interface or something, that I think the score needed for that should be like 15 or something. Do you know what I mean? So that would be like 15 people voting for it, or 8 people voting strongly for it.
If your problem's getting people involved with it because it appears too complicated, and we're having problem people with proposals moving forward, adding more features to them just doesn't make any sense. I mean, like, it's great to theorize on it and then understand what you could do if you could do a little bit more, like if you needed it. But right now, it doesn't need this. What it needs is just more people who know what it is. And things will get shot down, like they will. Because it's got to go through like 4 stages before it actually gets done, isn't it? We go to classification, where we'll say that it's you're assigned to a task. So at that point, you've provided opportunity for someone to say, well, that's a great idea, but you should do it. Then we're going to
okay, but so what about create a crowdfunding campaign for the bus, for a double-decker bus?
Yeah.
So that would go into proposal. There'd be hopefully some conversation about it, and then I mean, would it advance, or what would happen to it?
I mean, maybe it's just a thing about leaving a right amount of time in each category, like as
okay,
someone who's a member of the team.
So it had been on there for 3 weeks.
But then, yeah, you should be doing it. If you've got a proposal up and it's gone, and however many people who are assigned to have received at that point like 4 different emails saying this has been proposed, this has been that's why something that's approved, this is it, and then have people assigned to it. I'm now doing this. It's in progress. I'm like building stuff, right? And no one at that point has come forward and said no. I mean, in a way, it's like not. It's the same as other decisions that are born. Not saying something is.
It's definitely the woodcraft. It's like just let everyone know you're doing it and give them a fair amount of time. But that's what I feel with woodcraft faces. It's just like you get a lot.
People will be there to be negative about it. Like they will. Like,
okay, so what about this then? That's what I like most about it, because it feels like the most productive way to be. Like someone with drive to do something doesn't have to do a lot of obstacles. They can just carry on with something, but it's still, I guess it definitely feels quite a far cry from like more challenging democratic sort of decision making and deliberation about things.
Yeah.
Where like 5% change the future, especially when we're bigger. Yeah, it doesn't feel like something that long-term sort of sustainable for like when we're bigger and really trying to be a perfect example of the best possible democratic process. But then how could we be when we don't have the tools we need yet for it?
Yeah, I think it's better to think that.
That's the point, isn't it? It's building this tool.
What's that?
You're still building this tool, and it hasn't happened yet, has it? So.
No. Tools.
Can we actually just go back to this the Trello a sec? Please?
Yeah, just before you go on, I agree with you. I think that the thing about this, what we're talking now, is really thinking about priorities for change the future. And I think the most important thing is getting people involved right now, getting people aware and stuff, and trying to make it as clear as possible. And I think when there is a bigger team that's aware of that, you can go to that stage with them of getting them more involved in more steps, you know.
Okay, so what about if we have, let's say we have like kind of 5 quite active core team people and like 20 other people who, you know, dip in at least once a week and they offer something genuinely sort of valuable and drive it forward. And of all those people, one person is like maybe it's Yasir, like says we shouldn't do proposals on Facebook at all. We should only do them like in Sunday meetings or something. I've just randomly picked him, but like if there's like one person who is mildly against a proposal, would it just not go forward? We'd have to find, I don't know, like I just wonder if there's an opportunity where I wonder if there's a time when it would just make sense to do something to stop stagnancy.
Can I just can I talk quick? Would it work if you had? I mean, ideally, we want people to be using the Trello page as much as possible, right? So if we can on the Trello page, would it work? Could it work? So I'm just going to share the screen with you guys again. So on the driving change would go to proposals. So I just went on advertise work opportunity to assist with volunteering websites. I think that's a great idea, right? So I'm going to vote for this, and that vote's going to go up. So how about
maybe vote should be more like block though. So because otherwise, how would you be against a?
So I'm about to explain it now. So ideally, we want everyone in the core team or anyone that's on this Trello page to be maybe going on it once a week or you know, twice a week or whatever it is, and using it. So if you don't vote, then we're making the assumption that you're disagreeing. Because
I think that would probably counteract the sort of efficiency and productivity thing. I feel like loads of people just wouldn't get round to voting. That would be my fear, and therefore, like, it would create a sort of block. I don't know. Yeah.
I'm just wondering. I mean, like, I was going to make a proposal to you guys that this week I'm on a computer all week this week. Well, I've got sort of 2.5 days left on a computer, so where I'm on the computer all the time. And I was wondering if you just wanted to put the Change the Future Trello page to the test. So the 4 of us and maybe a couple of other people make an agreement that we're going to use the Trello page this week and see how that goes.
Yeah, that'd be so nice. Man, just 3 of us were using it. It'd be so fun.
We can screen share the whole time and record how we're doing it as well and what we're doing.
I think one thing I have found is on the occasions when, like, I have with 1 or 2 clients actually had quite a good relationship of using Trello, like where we're both like with iSkill actually with Sam Nath. It's like our go-to place. We've both got it installed on our phone, and we get a little pop-up notification, almost like a text message, when something new happens on there, because we've subscribed to all of the lists, which gives you instant phone messages if you want it to. Like one thing I think is really important is not to write non-essential stuff on there. Like, keep it really short, and like especially lots of little unnecessary comments can fill up your inbox loads. So I think that's a really good practice to try and keep less comments and really important stuff. But also, me and Rob Carney, during our big long Trello tutorial where he was in another place, we found that it's actually good to subscribe to a whole board if you want to be updated on everything that happens in there, because by default you won't. If you just join a board, you won't actually get notified of changes. So if you click menu in the top right corner, Matt. there should be subscribe. Now you'll get you see the bell in the very top right corner.
Yeah.
That bell will go red every time something changes.
Great.
And that's how you get really, that's when you're really part of Trello. So I can see that you've moved a card.
Yeah.
So yeah, you should subscribe to any boards that you really care about. And you can customize it so much.
Do you mean one board is driving Change the Future, one board is education? And
so like if you go to Change the Future's page.
Okay, 1 second.
It says all the boards. And then, so you can have control over everything, subscribing and members accessing. It's totally flexible. All the options are available. So these members in this list have access to all of the boards. They have access to the entire organisation. So
I love Trello.
And then if you click on a single board, there might be a member who's in this board but not other ones.
Yeah.
Okay.
And something worth being aware of if you're adding people to boards, what I've found is it's most convenient for a new person if you save them the work of having to individually join all the boards. You can just ask them which ones they're interested in, or just tell them, use this one, and that one. And you can just join for them. You can sign them up to a board. But you can't subscribe someone to a board. You know that you get the difference. So like, if you join a board, that means you have full read, write access to it. You can add cards, delete things. But unless you're subscribed, you won't get a little notification. Okay. So you won't know about changes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many members does it take to make a decision to archive things? For example, I'm looking at some of these, and where we made plans about doing a TEDx and setting up all of these different kind of events and stuff when we were doing the event stuff. And I feel like they're still tasks that are quite valid tasks, maybe.
And I think most of the stuff in
later might come on later doing an event, but there's still things that need to be done, and they've just kind of been thrown into old messy tasks from the previous board, reference only. But who made that decision to do that, and why was not everyone consulted about that and asked about that? If it's a democratic process,
that's my fault, I guess. I'm making a judgment call quite frequently with Change the Future about what to involve people in that I'm leading. There feels like there's often a kind of trade-off between me getting stuff done and me trying to reach out to people, and if so, how many people? Like just the core team? Who really is the core team? We don't even really know that yet. So like, what's the quality of how I should reach out? Should I phone everyone up? Or should I just post something on a Facebook group? Not everyone uses Facebook. So like it's difficult for me to sort of know, but I was going to delete. I mean, the stuff in archive is actually from an entirely different board. There are things that I think are mostly written by Charlie, and actually most of those things don't even have details in them. So you see the 4 little lines at the bottom of each card, that indicates that there's a description inside. If you click it, there's more information.
Yeah, I know that, yeah.
And if you scroll down to through archive, about half of these, about half of these don't have a description.
That's because between Tiana, Momo, myself, Charlie, and probably just the 4 of us, and you included at the time, but I don't know how much you added to this. We're just sort of coming up, we were trying to get used to using Trello, and we were just sort of coming up with all of these just like small measurable tasks that needed to be achieved. So literally just like you know, whether it was like, so one here that I saw, contact Russell Brand, because we were planning to do some kind of inspirational talk.
I guess there's a sort of need for people, certainly for me, to keep things neat and tidy, and I guess I felt like we had changed the whole layout of the board loads, and at first I was thinking of not. I mean, actually, this is from the whole separate board, right? So I haven't actually deleted anything. I've actually copied it. All the stuff that's in archive is actually copied from the board that Charlie originally made when we were trying out Trello.
Yeah.
So I haven't deleted that. I don't even think I have the power to delete that. So what I've actually done is copy it over to here in case, you know, it'd obviously be a lot neater and tidier without that list, but I just thought it'd be good to have it, because there is a lot of good ideas in there. Like, as you say, I agree with you. That's why I think it's so important to have it there, even if it's only for another 6 months or something, just so we can at some point hopefully go through it all and go, that's really vague. I mean, find venue is one of them I'm looking at right now. I mean, find venue for what? I mean, I just think it's so important to have tidiness, you know, just it dilutes the organisation when you have messy millions of
I mean,
things.
it looks kind of weird and untidy here because I guess it's now just in an archive of random cards. But before, the cards were ordered into, so we had each specific event. I remember when we did it. So here would be introduction to Change the Future event. So in that had the card and task find venue. So you knew what that was for, and then there would be another event. But
I actually didn't realise that. I thought that was. I thought, because to do that I would have had to have consolidated multiple lists into one list, and I didn't think I did that. I thought I just copied one list and put it in there. I don't really know, to be honest, what exactly happened there, but I just didn't want to delete it, but I did want to kind of set it aside. You know.
I guess I just sort of, when we talk about it being like really democratic and stuff, like, I just there seems to be certain things that kind of just get done, which I kind of agree with as well, because I think, to be honest, like between the three of you that are sat there, and like from what I've noticed, Joe, Pasco, and where I don't want to miss anyone out, Zoe and Alex, PB, you guys have like put in so much time and effort into this project, and often the amount of people that are involved in it, it's difficult to. So I've lost my train of thought because someone just came in the room there.
It's difficult to get stuff done unless there's sort of,
unless you just go for it.
Yeah, and that comes down to the democratic and cooperative mechanisms, I think. Like, I don't think it's rocket science. I just think you kind of find a way of grading people in terms of the amount of responsibility that they want to have, not like grading them in terms of how good a human being they are. And then you grade the tasks, you know? So, so say Luke Flegg is grade 5, just because I said I am, and other people agree with it. They feel like, yeah, that's a lot of responsibility, but you deserve it, basically. Like, you've been involved in the project a long time, blah blah blah. So then that means that Luke Flegg needs to be consulted for level 5 tasks, which means really big fundamental tasks. So that means fundamental restructuring of how we do stuff, or big funding applications, or legal things about registering as a legal entity, or big events. So you find a way of like grading tasks, and that's what we've basically done with stage 2, list number 2, classification. But it's still a kind of half-baked idea because there isn't a very clear correlation yet between. I don't know, actually. This is a bit of a kind of. This is just one of many, many, many sort of quite rushed trains of thoughts. But so
many.
You see the colours on classification. There's 4 colours. Green means that it's a really small task and it doesn't need to kind of be authorized by any particularly experienced person, as long as someone's looked over it and at least one other person says, yeah, great, do it. And that's kind of what Joe was talking about, I think, in a almost. It's like just kind of things anyone can kind of get along with. It doesn't need to be massively agreed. And then yellow stuff, at least a senior member, a junior member needs to kind of say, yeah, go ahead with that. That's a good move. Orange, senior member, and red, all these red tasks, like this one at the top of list number 2. Sort out ChangeTheFuture's online presences. That's a really big, quite complex job, and I think that could still be a random person who does that, but it needs to be authorized, overseen by at least one core team member. So if we use that process now, which has only just been invented and didn't really exist back when I archived all of the hard work you and Charlie and Tiana put into the sometimes valuable, sometimes quite fluffy list of tasks here, which I really don't want to underestimate, because anyone can see a lot of thought has gone into that, and there's huge value in it, definitely. So yeah, I really want to appreciate that, firstly. But yeah, I think if we had this system that's kind of emerging now, and I'm inviting you guys all to kind of look at this, understand it, and improve it, and implement it with me.
I think, if we can all come to an agreement on that, to use it for just the next 2 days and just see how it works.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
The other thing I want to...
Let me just clarify then. So instead of just taking the liberty of Luke Flegg just archiving all that old stuff, I would instead put that as a proposal now, and then it would be classified by someone else, because I can't classify my own idea, and then someone would classify that as a core team thing, so it's being recognised now as quite a big, serious thing, and that means that it won't be acted on unless actually a serious bit of discussion happens about it, and that would be your opportunity, Matt, to say, actually, can we not archive it? Let's just do this. Yeah. And then maybe the proposal changes shape.
Okay.
So I think, I just wanted to create an interface for us to work better together. And I think one aspect of that is working out what's a big task and needs.
So proposals and any changes that we want to make, or anything. But then
any action. Anything that shapes ChangeTheFuture,
but then
we do drives it forward.
Things that, okay, all right, yeah, that's cool. So I'm gonna start using this week tonight, I think, and if you want to bounce back some stuff, then that would be good.
Yeah, definitely.
For example, I'm looking at this now. When I was involved in ChangeTheFuture and part of the core team, I wrote a Spark funding thing, and then you sort of just wrote it basically. In fact, just didn't use mine and redid it one night at 3 in the morning. And I didn't get used. So therefore, I'm thinking if any junior member, which is quite a lot of people, can just do that, it still needs to be approved by another member, right?
Yeah. Yeah, man. Sorry if I just bulldozed over your funding application.
It's totally fine, because I respect the fact that it's really important to get that funding. I'm not used to writing funding applications. It was just something that I saw on the tasks at the time on the Trello board.
Yeah.
Or Rizoma at the time. And I was like, yeah, you know what, I'll do that. And then it didn't get used, but yeah.
That's so useful to hear, because I think I was probably wrapped up in loads of stuff and a bit blind and deaf to your feelings about that now I instantly recognise that must feel a bit unrewarding to put in that effort and not.
Definitely. Especially as I think anything that anyone does towards ChangeTheFuture is really valuable to change the future, and for me to just dedicate a couple of hours of my time to writing a funding application, which probably wasn't good enough, but still, yeah, I don't know. Maybe, like, for example, that I'm gonna.
I think one thing that I feel like I have learned that might help me to stop making that mistake again with you and other people is recognizing that I think rather than encouraging people to sort of take on specific tasks, rather encourage people to specialize more and more in an area that they care about and know about. Yeah. So like if you are particularly interested in sort of funding stuff, like definitely obviously don't expect one person to only do funding, because that would be boring. But you know, just have a look at all the proposals and just go, you know, you can break down most of these proposals into one of these 4 areas, like outreach and marketing, organising how we do stuff, funding, and like designs, like research, you know, things like that. And then you try and like master an actual area.
Are we not focusing on the wrong problem here? Like, was you put in a proposal for a funding application, and it just wasn't responded to, and that is the reason it didn't progress?
No, I kind of edited he filled out a whole form, and I looked through it and just changed loads of it, and made Matt feel like he had wasted loads of his time. Right. I think, but I think it's like a good example, because I'm sure I've done that before to varying extents. Yeah, I'm sure.
Instead of providing an alternative funding application, you just changed it.
I think it was maybe like the worst possible thing, because like it would have been better if I hadn't suggested or encouraged or allowed him to do that.
Well, yeah, Luke, I mean, like, I value myself as a friend quite a lot, and like you're one of my good friends. But if that wasn't the case, and you had delegated that task to me, and then said, "Oh, you know what? Actually, I didn't even use yours, buddy," I'd be like, "Well, thanks. I probably won't dedicate things to her anymore."
Yeah.
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 Yeah, and I do seem to remember before when we were looking at the designing the Trello board, there was kind of it was organised in a way that it did have kind of different departments in the task management, so like different I can't think of the word.
This is as well now. If you click. Are you still screen sharing?
Yeah.
If you click on menu, actually no, you're there already. See the members? Hover over those members so you can see their names. Don't click, just move your cursor over. Go down near the bottom. All the members near the bottom who don't have any pictures. Showcase event. So that's a specialism. These like social media is a specialism. So you can filter all of the cards by those things.
So how do I do this?
You go menu, filter.
Are we in danger of slipping properly into just a Trello lesson? We're kind of doing a bit of a Trello lesson.
Yeah.
About an hour.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think we can avoid this because I can play with this and I can watch the other video.
Yeah.
The other thing, I mean, like, I feel like I was going to make a few suggestions.
Wait, Matt, did you hear what Joe just said?
Also, as a technical point, it's about to get very loud in here in a very short period of time.
Okay.
Back to sleeping.
Yeah.
I feel mixed, because I feel like I'm inspired by your these questions, and I think they're really important questions. I'm loving your input and stuff right now, but at the same time, Joe was just saying, and I agree that like we've kind of spent an hour kind of doing a Trello lesson when I think what we originally imagined for like Wednesdays was like a no technology just casual, informal, social thing. And
It's somewhat got derailed at some point.
yeah.
I mean, I guess I did on the Facebook. I did say earlier that the only reason we're doing this is because I can't make it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it's great to like talk to
I
you.
mean,
Like,
I
I think we could have a takeaway here from this that like what I'm getting from you, someone who's very interested in like product and very involved, and also very interested in how Trello works. Despite your great interest in it, you're still having a lot of problems with the way it's operated, and you're having put in a lot of time, and you're not totally agreeing with one of them, and your one experience that you have where you've really got engaged with it in its current form, it's a funny application that you put through and then didn't go through for not particularly no reason, but also what feels like not quite good enough. Because if like you've got issues with something that's happened, it's great to provide commentary about it, and you might even feel like as someone who wants to get involved with say part of the application, trying to move you. Oh, I thought you had your reasons for getting involved with it, like, but at the same time, I think for an system to work efficiently, it should just go through. That's like, you should be able to provide comment about it. But that was a task that got done, and I think the bottom line is task getting done equals good at the moment. Like,
sorry, that was really hard to hear you.
sorry, yeah.
I think the thing is, it's like because I feel like we've kind of done the worst of both worlds, which has come to a space that is terrible for doing a video call, and then done a video call.
Yeah.
And so like it doesn't feel very nourishing to like keep repeating stuff and sort of it makes a bit of a awkward sort of communication thing, I think, where everyone's trying extra hard to make a connection.
Yeah. I'm kind of ignoring the fact that this is going to go out to everyone else. I mean, that's not something that I'm not speaking in a way that I'm aware that this is going out to loads of people as well, and that this is going to be shown on Facebook stuff. I just talk to you guys and just like don't know what's going on there, but I'm trying not to turn this into a Trello lesson, and that's why I stopped the like filter cards thing and stuff. But I don't feel like this talk has been a Trello lesson as such. I think I've got a basic understanding of how Trello works, but maybe not spend much time on the ChangeTheFuture one. The more I look at it, the more I get the ChangeTheFuture one. But I guess I just wanted to chat to you guys and just hang out with you.
I want to see your face again.
No, I didn't at all say it was not constructive to meet with you. There's a pattern in ChangeTheFuture in the meetings I've been that we err towards the theoretical refinement of the organizational structure that's larger than one we currently are. And I think that what I'd like to have right now is a project that I kind of get my teeth into, and I'm aware that I haven't had time recently, and that I don't particularly like saying that without being able to dedicate a lot of time. And I know I won't be able to now until the new year. But I think what we need to do for us in the next meeting, I'd really like to hear your input, is what we're going to do next that we can really get our teeth into. Currently we have a partly constructed wall that's in the south and not particularly have a venue for it, per se, right now. We have a couple of great propositions for youth and stuff we'd like to do next year that I'd really like to kind of get refined and like more approved and then push through and some stuff happen with. Yeah. And I think that doing stuff like that, even with a ill-refined system, it's going to provide some more opportunity to refine systems than us theorizing on it right now.
I definitely agree with that. The Trello conversation just came about from just a conversation Luke and I had just before you guys arrived. Actually, one of the things I wanted to talk about, the two or three main things I wanted to chat about really, was one, I guess, just make a few proposals, and I'm not sure now whether these proposals should go in the proposal thing, or if...
Yeah, I often feel torn between putting a proposal in Trello or the Facebook group. I think Facebook group obviously is, you know, where more people are currently being, but then maybe, so yeah, maybe putting stuff first into Facebook, but meanwhile, you know, saying that we're going to stop doing that in 6 months or 3 months, and we're going to be moving proposals over to the new, you know, people like us lot, and Rob Carney maybe can sort of start getting people more comfortable with Trello.
Yeah, I mean, at the moment, like, Facebook is going Facebook great for sounding stuff up for boards and getting decisions made in like 12 hours. I mean, if you want to get a decision made within like 12 to 24 hours, you have to use Facebook.
Hey, Jen has arrived.
Oh, hey, Jen.
Oh, Matt. Hey, man. There you are.
Yes.
Squeeze in.
Hey. I did a fart, so I was falling over to the connector.
Yes, Jen.
Should we round the Trello talk up?
Yeah.
Right.
Rounding the Trello talk up, let's just do that by saying let's stop talking about it now.
Put some proposals in. What's the worst that's going to happen? We'll discuss it and going to move straight to idea.
I am going to put in some proposals into Trello. I guess it's up to you guys if you look at them or not. But I think I also just want to talk about them as well, because I'm sort of unclear as to why. Luke, we spoke about what leads to earlier, and I think we can speak about it quite honestly, that some of the things that are like wrong, I guess some things that are wrong with it, it's just the interface at the moment and stuff. And I go on, where are we? Explore popular aims, a better what leads to. And it's then just doing that. Did you see, oh, am I not sharing the screen anymore?
We're just getting your reaction face.
Hang on, because it happened.
Are they 20?
Matt, come back.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that looks prettier.
Did you see that though? And then it just went bang. And you're like, what? What's going on? But anyway, what I do love about what leads to is the fact that they've done that, and they're just like now trying to just improve what leads to. And I was just wondering why you guys, as Change the Future, haven't got around to just building Change the Future and just rolling it out online and just letting it be developed by loads of
What are you saying? Why haven't we created a...
I mean, Alex PB, I don't know how much time he dedicates to the project, but can...
Yeah, I'm struggling to even arrange a phone call with him at the moment. I've emailed him and Facebooked him and called him quite a lot. Well, yeah, I've probably reached out 5 times over the last sort of 3 or 4 months and not heard anything back, I don't think. I just messaged him again on Facebook, and I think I might have just got his new number or something off him, maybe. But yeah, we haven't checked in for ages, man.
Yeah.
Ages. But yeah, but wait, are you asking why we haven't used or why we haven't coded something new?
Yeah, why you haven't just coded something new that you can just roll out, kind of like what leads to have, just to have it out there and just...
I suppose it just takes, you know, what leads to took probably 5,000 hours to code.
Yeah.
Probably somewhere between 1,000 and 20,000 hours. No, not that much, but you know, loads.
I don't know how many hours.
Loads, not that much. Yeah, hundreds of hours, probably.
3,000, like 500 hours is 10 hours a day for a year.
Probably been in, yeah, no, definitely not that, but like,
it's not that complicated,
whatever.
is it?
Anyway, it takes ages. So I think we have to keep that in mind, I think. But I don't know, I almost feel like the speed at which we've changed designs would be faster than that at which you could write that as code. Until recently, I think that's starting to change recently. But, like, but yeah, I think it would be nice to like get together and actually look at all of the designs that we've got. Some of them feel really clear and good. Others feel more sort of blurry and half-baked ideas. But yeah.
The reason why the wall of ideas worked so well is, I guess, because it was just interactive and it was a model showing what Change the Future is, and everyone got involved in the process of building it and designing it. And
yeah, coding software takes a lot longer than chopping wood and cutting paper.
Definitely know that. But I mean, is it just, can you not just get it going? Or is it not as simple as that? Do you need to, does it then bring it into the proposals of like funding applications?
I think there's one main reason for me, the biggest reason in my mind, I think, for why we don't already have basically the wall of ideas, a simple version of Change the Future as a web platform now, I think, is more than anything because the technology behind it that's recording all of the actual contributions has to be in the right database, the right kind of, like, is it an SQL database, or what's it, Cold Fusion, or I don't know the technology. I'm not geeky enough, but I do know that if you built Facebook using the wrong back end, the sort of behind the scenes software behind, like, with accounts and all that, like, then you wouldn't be able to grow it and expand it very well, or you would have to sort of find a way of transporting all the information from the old database and move it across.
You make editable Adobe files that had limited editability and had like some kind of history saving system that would look effectively like,
guys, really shit. Like, I really need to go and do something quick. So can you carry on talking about this? And
quick, what are you proposing? Are you proposing that we make an online version and then we get someone to code it?
Oh yeah, I am, yeah. But I really need to keep talking amongst yourselves, and I'll come back in a sec.
Yeah, I think we should. I think it'd be amazing. It comes down to who's going to lead the task, can it? I guess if I'm hearing my mind think, I just go, whoa, shit, I can't put more stuff on my plate right now. But I think if someone else was like, oh, I'm just going to tinker and create a thing that could be useful, actually, that's awesome, and I feel great about that, personally. So,
in no way do I want to undermine Alex's involvement, but if you can't, it's worthwhile asking other people to get involved. So I think if there's any other people who want to throw CTA, an online version,
and there's so many options, isn't there? There's a million different paths we can go down. So, like, one of them is go to SourceForge and GitHub and these sort of online communities for open software coders, people who are passionate about the free open web and creating tools for empowering people, educating them for free. Like, there's countless people in the program who love that well. So yeah, I think that'd be a great direction to go. It just comes down to awesome. We've all agreed, but who's going to lead that? It could be either of you guys or me or someone watching this. Anyone can do that, really.
Well, that actually brings us back to the meetings of the Wednesdays, where I think it's important to block that time as well, to just chat openly Because I think if we can do this more often, and it's an open physical space where people can meet each other and can chat, and maybe can team up with, you know, getting yourself organized for a task and channeling your energy to one thing, like you said. How do you say it? Fight yourself into it. What did you say? Just really like
just something tangible you can
tangible.
like ideas.
And I think that the physical meetings, like, and this could be as well physical. I mean, like seeing each other, being able to chat is really important.
Yeah. I wonder if we should have working groups as well, or instead.
That would be really good.
So
I like coming away with something like
Concrete.
the most
Yeah.
frustrating thing for me is to come to a meeting and then go away with endless possibilities.
Yeah.
I like coming away with quite specific tasks I can then achieve before the next meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we'll have like arranging working groups in that social work things. Not quite an easy idea as well. But a lot of the time it can't be simple as doing it every Sunday.
Yeah.
It has to be a lot more like two of us are going to go off and have a meeting about specifically this, or someone has to go and give it to us.
Matt, we're talking about managing these meetings in a way that kind of suits everyone. And I think, my angle was more sort of how to know what needs to be done most urgently.
I've got to raise a technical point as well. They don't want us out in 3 minutes.
Oh yeah, we also have to leave these premises in 3 minutes. But I think we're mobile.
Are you going to be mobile? I mean, can we bring up this call again at Luke's house or something?
The what?
Can we bring this call up again at Luke's house?
I can chat to you.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we can keep you on Luke's phone. And maybe relocate to Rosa's.
Yeah. I can chat to you. I don't know what his availability is.
I don't know if Gem is available as well, but I'm just really in the mood to like bring this into something.
Yeah.
Let's carry on.
Because it's never complete.
This is on the Wi-Fi, the Emporium Wi-Fi. So I think we'll just.
Matt, let's relocate in 3 minutes. I can't hear you anymore, but we'll call you back in sort of 15.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
All right. Speak to you then.
Nice.
Love you, man.
Matt, stay on. You stay on. Matt, you stay
Okay.
on the call.
I'm staying on.
Because then it will stay on your broadcast file.
I need to get
So yeah, you stay on. We'll go, and then
tomorrow.
we'll come back.
Yeah?
We'll join you.
But yeah.